Hello and thanks for staying on LN 24/7. This is Politics Now. My name is Morno Balagbogo. We've got quite a packed show for you today. It's been a whirlwind of buzz and activities in the world of politics in Nigeria, from the Senate to conversations surrounding 2027 to the lingering political crisis in Rivers State, which will be our focus for today's show. So let's give you a rundown of our talking points. We'll talk about Fubara versus Amaewhule-led assembly impasse. It keeps going on and on and on. We've got the breakdown for you. So you want to keep it locked right here on LN 24/7. Secondly, we'll examine threats to peace and impeachment plot, and also much ado about the Niger Delta leaders' peace talks moves. Our guest today is no stranger to the show, Makarai Gonewari, political analyst, former Rivers local government appointee. He'll be feeding us live via video call on breaking down and helping us make sense of all that is going on in the world of politics in Rivers State. Well, let's begin the show by telling you that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has released the updated register of voters in Rivers State, along with the list of registered political parties in Nigeria ahead of the forthcoming local government elections. In a letter dated 13th March 2025, signed by the Administrative Secretary Order Napoleon Mezurike, INEC formally notified Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission of the release. The letter addressed to the RSCEC chairman confirmed that a soft copy of the voters' register had been provided in response to the Commission's request. Following this development, RSEC issued a press release announcing the receipt of the updated register from INEC headquarters. The release, signed by the Commissioner in charge of Media and Civic Education, Tamonotoye Tobins, reassured stakeholders and the public of RCX's commitment to conducting free, fair and credible elections. The elections are scheduled to take place on Saturday, August 19, 2025, and the list of registered political parties released by INEC includes parties such as the All Progressive Congress APC, the People's Democratic Party PDP, Action Leaders Party APP, Labour Party, as well as 15 others. Now, with the updated voters register now in place, RCEC reiterates its commitment to ensuring a smooth electoral process in Rivers State as they intensify preparations ahead of the August polls. Now, do recall that this is coming on the heels of the Supreme Court judgment nullifying the last local government elections conducted by RCEC under the administration of Fubara. So let's tell you also that Governor Simlaye Fubara has again written to the Rivers State House of Assembly proposing Wednesday, 19th March 2025 as the new date for the presentation of the 2025 state budget. Do recall in his media parley, Wike called the first letter that he wrote to the Assembly useless. Now, in this letter addressed to the Speaker of the Assembly, Honorable Martin Amaewhule, Governor Fubara recalled his earlier attempt to present the budget on March 12th, which was unsuccessful due to being denied entry into the Assembly premises, and we covered that on our show on Wednesday. He stated that despite the prior delivery of a soft copy notice and efforts to submit a hard copy through the clerk, he and his entourage were locked out. The governor emphasized that his attempt was in compliance with the Supreme Court judgment, which he noted had also mandated the Assembly to carry out its functions within constitutional boundaries. He also reminded the Speaker that the House had previously issued a 48-hour ultimatum for the presentation of the budget, even before he was served with a certified true copy of the judgment and enrolled others. Governor Fubara has reaffirmed his commitment to governance despite the political crisis in the state, urging all arms of government to exercise their duties within legal and constitutional frameworks for the good of the people. The letter formally notified the Speaker of his intention to present the budget on the 19th of March at 11 a.m. or at any other time deemed convenient by the House. Governor Fubara concluded by expressing his hope that the Assembly will consider his request favorably. And it just keeps going on and on. And amidst these escalating political tensions in the state, the Niger Delta leaders have launched peace talks to mediate the standoff between Governor Similaye Fubara and his predecessor, Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike. Now, the intervention, led by Victor Atta, Peace and Reconciliation Committee under the Pan-Niger Delta Forum, aims to bring both parties to the negotiation. Now, this is coming on the heels of their last meeting with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and they are at work. But will it yield the results? PANDEF's national chairman, God knows, recently said the committee had met with Fubara in Port Harcourt. Efforts to engage Wike directly ongoing. He stressed the need for face-to-face dialogue, stressing that both sides had set conditions for the discussions. So this will be interesting for us to watch. Now, this intervention comes as the standoff between Fubara and the 27 lawmakers of the State House of Assembly deepened on Wednesday as an attempt by the governor to represent the 2025 appropriation bill met a brick wall. The governor accused Speaker Martin Amaewhule of deliberately avoiding him, stating that several calls put across to the lawmaker went unanswered. And Fubara said he was at the Assembly quarters to present the 2025 appropriation bill, just as you saw in that clip, having formally notified the leadership of the Assembly. And the governor is expected to rewrite the lawmakers regarding their presentation, which he has done today. Now, do recall the House said it never received any official communication from the governor indicating his interest to bring the budget to the floor of the House, accusing him of whipping up unnecessary sentiments. The spokesperson of the House, Chairman Dr. Enemi George, had said the claim by the governor was mere comedy skit scripted to paint the Assembly in a bad light. Now, how is that possible, considering you just saw the visual of the governor at the State House of Assembly? All they had to do was to open up the gate. Now, do recall in his media parley on Wednesday, FCT Minister Wike condemned the governor's letter to the Speaker of the House of Assembly, noting that the Assembly was the independent arm of the government. He also said it was an insult to have sent a letter signed by the SSG to the Speaker of the House, and Wike followed up by stating that Fubara should be impeached if he was found to have committed an impeachable offense. Now, there's one particular statement of his during the course of that media parley that has gotten social media ablaze. I'll just read it. And he said, "Why do we arrogate this power to a certain group of people? Ijaw people are the only people who can blow up a pipeline. What nonsense is that?" he said. "Who told them Ogoni people cannot blow a pipeline? Who told you Ikwenu people cannot blow up a pipeline? Why do we arrogate powers to people? There is nothing like that." Those are the words coming from Minister Wike. And of course, Similaye Fubara on Thursday appealed to members of the Rivers State House of Assembly to consider the interest of the people and to embrace peace to resolve the political crisis. Now, the political crisis enveloping Rivers State took a new dimension, recall yesterday on Thursday, where the Assembly has asked the DSS, that is the Department of State Services, to investigate the Chief Judge of the state for alleged age falsification. Are we going to be seeing moves to clamp down on political appointees by Governor Similaye Fubara? Let's save the conversation. Our guest joins us virtually. Thank you so much for being with us, Maikara.
Thank you very much for having me.
So let's start with your quick reaction to recent developments. Fubara's letter to the House, which Wike called useless, and also the House said they did not get that notification, saying that Fubara is whipping up sentiments. Let's start the conversation from there.
First and foremost, I want to make you understand that Fubara is playing the role of true diplomat. A job people are peace loving. A job people pursue democracy. We are people who want everything to work for everybody. But the reason why the Martins Amaewhule lawmakers are still trying to play, I don't know, it's basically they're playing to the tune of their master. There is no wrong that Sim has done. The only wrong Sim has done here because Sim has refused to serve the master, who is the minister of FCT. Rather, Sim decided as an Ijoma to serve the people of Rwanda. This is what the Ijoma represents. So Martin Amaewhule and Alab dogs, if I put it that way, because they are playing to the tune of master. I don't see why the 27 lawmakers will not face their constituents and deliver due the benefits of democracy. They are supposed to face their people, not to be serving one man. Martin Amaewhule owes the people of Obiako service, not Wike himself alone. The other lawmakers, especially the ones who are part of the judge. This is time for people to prove to Nigerians out that the German does not follow the path that will not make everybody around him happy. So I want to put it that what the lawmakers are doing is totally wrong. The governor is on the right path. They said obey the Supreme Court. He decided to do so. What is his crime? What is his crime?
Now, if you could remember, the Niger Delta leaders are moving for peace based on their conversations with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They've met with Fubara, plotting on how to meet with Wike. I'm quite interested to know if this move will be welcomed by the FCT minister.
They can, but is that what Wike wants? Wike wants Fubara to worship him. That is all. And Fubara, I will rather give my service to the people of River State. The people of River State. So if they go out to Wike, and Wike is willing to accept that, then Fubara is Wike is Wike that the people of River State are not sure of their salaries because it's being held because of one man wants to seen president will be relayed through the elders. And I'm here also putting the elders who are true Ijaw men and women do play their role as core Ijaw people, who are peace-loving people and people who support true democracy. So let us look up for it. But for me, the governor has done no wrong. The governor has done no wrong. The only wrong he has done in the eye of one man is because he has refused to come and play to his tone.
Now, in a bid to sue for peace, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu rather met with the Pandef leaders, and some of the outcome of that meeting has not been met quite friendly by people who have been watching this fallout in Rivers State, talking about the fact that the president seems to be biased towards Wike. Mekaira, I'm wondering what your thoughts are on this.
Yeah, you are asking me a very intelligent question that I have to answer as a core German, because we are people who are smart, peace-loving, and true Democrats, like I said. Let me make you understand something. The Ijaw is about the fourth largest ethnicity in Nigeria. The Ijaws are majority. The president understands this, and that is why he had to call the Pandef and say, please, help me. Wike is not the boss over the president, and I know President Tinubu will not play to such. And that is why President Tinubu, at this point, needs to clip the wings of the minister more so that he will not fly into his eyes. Let him clip the wings of the minister. That is all. So I think Pandef elders, like I said, they are trying to rally around their son so that their son can continue the good work he's doing for the good people of Rivers, who is the governor of Fubara, and not to support you going to bow to one man just to play to one man's personal interest. No, I think that's not allowed. Thank you.
Now, Mekara, let me ask you your opinion on what played out on Thursday, where the Assembly asked the Department of State Services to investigate the Chief Judge of the state for alleged age falsification. After all this time, is this the right time to do this? What are your thoughts?
Like I told you, the 27 lawmakers who are lapdogs are playing to the tone of their master. Does the age or whatever bring development to the Rivers people? No. Imagine the Supreme Court has told you to go and meet the governor, able to discuss, see how we can further develop it. You have left that one. You are now going after political points. You are going for political, going after, but for what? For what? Is that what Rivers people want? Did they tell them what they want? The 27 lawmakers have responsibility to the people of Rivers State to serve them. And I don't think that is a project for a constituent. That is not a project. Is the age of the chief judge a project now that benefit the constituent of the people that they represent? Let's ask ourselves all these questions. They're actually playing to a script. And that is what Sim does not want to partake in. Governor Sim does not want to partake in such scripts. He is out to serve good people of Rivers State. That's my take on it.
Now, in understanding how this crisis will be resolved, it's very important that we look into some of the thoughts from both parties. We've heard from the governor, we've heard from the FCT minister, who, of course, the Rivers Assembly lawmakers are loyal to. Now, if we go back to what he said Fubara should have called, should have apologized. So I'm wondering, in your own thoughts, if there is any truth to what Wike is saying. He seems to be so disgusted by that letter earlier sent by Governor Fubara.
It is not. We're not talking about what we can't see. Talking about what we can see. We have seen the effort that the governor has put in from when the governor became a governor. He has wanted everybody to work together. Let's not forget, it was they on their own, some commissioners and others that stepping out. Now, talking about having a letter to the lawmakers, this is the work of the SSG, and the SSG has done that. He has reached out several times via whatever way, electronic media, the normal analog, it has been done. Can't you see that these people are not ready to snap out of that mentality of worshiping one man? They are not ready. Because if they are ready, I mean, from the beginning of the Supreme Court ruling, everybody is asking which they were clamoring for everybody to obey. They would have said obey, but they are not. That is not what they are after. That is not what they are after. That is not what they are after. I think that's what that is about.
Now, Mekara, I know you touched on this earlier at the beginning, but I really want us to dwell on it. Back to that quote that I read in my introduction, in which you also reacted in the first question I asked you about the Ijaw people comment made by Wike, saying they are not the only people that can blow up a pipeline. And he's saying the Ogoni people can also do that. The Ikweni people can also do that. This rhetoric has been met with a lot of harsh criticism, considering the fact that even at this moment there are concerns over threats of violence. I mean, destroying the pipeline, which is one of the major sources of economic revenue for the country. What are your thoughts?
The plan Wike or the Minister of FCT, I don't know how to put it, but he's always in his system to want to put two heads together. You know, a man who thrives on where there is no peace. Ijaw people, like I said, I always say, peace-loving people. Wike going to say, oh, people can blow pipe. I think going to come out and I think attest to that if it is true or not, but I doubt. You know, he just want to call names to create unrest, like you and I know. And like I have said, It is not in the blood of the German to be violent. They are peace-loving people. It is except when you push them to the wall. And in this particular situation, it does not need that. That is why people are calling out the minister to take his hands off the activities in Rivers State.
Now, Mekara, there are people who feel Fubara has lost. And do you think at this point, Fubara should have meetings with Wike himself? Because all this diplomacy seems not to be bringing peace at all.
Well, what I will say at this point is it has not gone to that point where a governor has to go and see Wike. It has rather gone to the point where Wike should show us if he indeed is a man of integrity. Because at this point, he needs to go to the governor. The governor has always opened arms to him. Yes. Yes. Because you can see Mr. President. Mr. President is one man that is cool. Mr. President will always sought for the opinions of his ministers, his other officials, to know how they can go about one or two projects. That's what he does. He listens to advice. Or does Wike seek for anybody's opinion? No. So I think at this point, Wike should show at least make a point, a statement, and say, I'm a man of peace. That is what I would, I think, suggest at this point.
Okay, Michael, I will go on a quick break right now. When we come back, the conversation continues. To stay with us.
What makes the political system what it is today? What are the recurring issues?
Order.
The tussle for power.
An extremely problematic area.
The tension. The instability of the system. Join Ellen 24/7 as we take you inside the local and international political arena in the world of politics.
Apologize for saying that I was corrupt.
I'm not here to call out his lies. Everybody knows he's a liar.
Watch politics now on Ellen 24/7.
Don't miss Politics Now on LN 24/7.
Many thanks for being with us. So let's get back to Mekara. Mekara, you seem not to be answering the question. You said Wike has antecedents. That was what you said earlier. Now, based on that, you know and I know that someone like the Minister of FCT will not back down. So should Fubara not go meet him, his supposed godfather, for the sake of peace in the state?
First and foremost, is this a godfatherism? Okay, you appointed the man to become, you suggested to the people of to lead the state. And he's doing the needful. I think it is not a case of godfatherism here. But then, Wike, the Minister of FCT, he has every right to call his son. He has every right to call his son, say, let us. Because as it is at this point now, if the governor decides to go to him, we all know it's very dramatic. He may decide to stage up a play again. So at this point, the father, who is the godfather, should be the one to call him. And ask for peace, but then it will not be on the detriment of Liverpool's decision or choice, which I mean, it should not be against the will of Rivers, because right now the will of Rivers is that to remain on that seat. Let us conduct our local government elections and bring back the local government that were working, which are the likes of Chijoke and the likes of Ichemat of Port Harcourt City local government. So I think that is what Rivers people want at this point. The godfather who he said he is, of course, He has gone to call out Doediri, saying Doediri came to beg him. We are here to see that evidence. But we saw how he came rather to His Excellency Senator Doediri of Bayelsa when he was looking out for office of the president then. So on this particular matter, I am not I'm not on the opinion that they should not come to peace, an agreement. They should the minister should make the move peace, but let not be at the detriment of the people of Rivers State. The people of Rivers State want their governor to be on that state.
Now, during that interview, Wike suggested Fubara should be impeached. How does Fubara tackle this plot? Because we know that that is on the pipeline.
Well, like you just let the cat out of the bag. What is the wrong thing that Governor Fubara has done? That is my question. What is the wrong thing that Governor Fubara has done? Because Governor Fubara refused to join the list of people who worship one man, that has become his sin. That has become his sin. Is that a crime worthy of impeachment? That is the question. Is it in the Constitution that when a governor does not worship one man, he should be impeached? They cannot impeach governors. No. The time though the law and is very clear. That is why they are running to and running looking for unnecessary drama, very unnecessary drama. So I don't think that impeachment plot is going to work. No, because there's nothing the governor has done wrong. Nothing.
Now, let's go a little bit of politics, Mekara. Aside the impeachment plot, the governor's political party is shaky at the moment, talking about the People's Democratic Party, which so happens to be the party of the Minister of FCT, Wike. He's a PDP member, but he did not vote for PDP during the presidential election. I'm wondering, on what foundation is Governor Fubara going to rest on?
Yes, I would agree that the stability and the current disaster that the political foundation, or will I say the PDP family is facing now, is caused by the one same man who keeps on saying he is in control of the party. So at this point, you made it clear that even the political party of the governor did not participate in the last election. Yes, because they were all the people who were loyal to, if I would put that way, to the minister, refused to partake. They refused to partake. They were following the script. Currently, now we know understand what the Minister of City Governor, Minister Wike is doing. Like I said earlier, he's somebody who thrives in when two people are not at peace. So we know the game they are playing automatically. Rivers people, this is way beyond more than party. Both Rivers people in APC, both Rivers people in PDP, both Rivers people in are all in support of the governor, because the governor has done no wrong. There's a lot of governors saying it is just a little faction, those who are loyal to the minister. They are not many. They are not many. That is why we are all in anticipation again for the forthcoming local government election. If they wanted development in the state, why are they fighting tooth and nail to see that election does not hold? Why are they fighting tooth and nail to see that the governor is in? Is that what is going to bring development to the state? So as for the question of the political foundation, right now the political foundation, which we know is unstable, but it does not have any, it's not going to affect the governor. No, because right now the governor has become like a cop. I would like Nigeria current situation to manage. Niger Delta, the people of River State, everybody is on the look because the man has done no wrong.
Mekara, I still want to dwell on this issue of political foundation because it's very, very necessary. You look back at the last conducted local government election, the APP party won most of the seats for local government. Now, will Fubara still bank on this party for the upcoming election, which has been scheduled for the month of August?
I will want to disagree, first and foremost, with where you say the party is being factor by the governor. There's no evidence for that. I mean, everyone is free to belong to any party of their choice. And the governor is not in that party. It is those who were basically not allowed to try themselves in the PDP that had to leave and move over to another party. And within a few times they were in office, they delivered. It is most times not even about it. It's about the person. Yes, it is not even about the party. It's about the person. It is what you carry that you give out. So our president is not a person. Is not a PDP person. Is of the APC. The governor is a PDP person. Is not of the APC. The other local government chairman, Fubara, who they cancel the elections, were of the APP, but are they not delivering due democratic advantages? They are. The benefits are being given out. So it's not even about the party. So I will want to again disagree with you when you say the governor is sponsoring. I don't have any of such.
But hold on a minute, Mekara. Sorry to cut in. Would you still disagree with me that those who won under the APP were members rather of the PDP who were loyal to the governor? If you are saying that the governor did not single-handedly sponsor the APP party.
The last interview we had, I remember I told you, I said these were people who felt oppressed, who were not giving. No one wanted to listen to them. They were the people who can stand and tell the minister, I said, this thing I do not support. This is not what we need now. So while living in that party, they were oppressed and they had to leave. Like I said, their living did not change who they are. Who they are was what they displayed to the people of River State in their different local governments, not about the party. And they are not loyal, if I would say, to Fubara alone. They are loyal to Rivers. This loyalty is not for one person. It is for the state. The state is bigger than one person. Not one person bigger than the state. No. They are loyal to the cause of development in Rivers State. And that is the path the government is following. And they are following that path. They are following that path. If they were not loyal to the development to development of Rivers State and the people to enjoy the government, they would have followed the path of serving only one man and listen to what that one man says. No, rather they followed the path of development. And the governor is the champion, the leader of that path of development to Rivers people. That is why they are behind him. Against, or should I say, across party line. That's all.
Now, still dwelling on this political foundation, we are seeing alignments here and there. El-Rufai meeting with Peter Obi, meeting with Atiku Abubakar. Then Bala Mohammed yesterday said he's ready to work with Obi to oust APC. Can Fubara find solace in these formations? Is SDP the new party that Nigerians are excited about? And I don't know, because Governor Bala Mohammed, of course, happens to be the chairman of the PDP Governors Forum, and he's always supported Fubara. Even during the local government election, he came out to Port Harcourt, I recall, to share his support. So, in the light of these formations for 2027, is this something that you think Fubara can bank on?
I love the way you Fubara into the whole. one thing I want us to know is current time in Nigeria. It is about the leadership of the country. Is bigger. Whatever movements are going on, that is not what will bring development to the we are looking or we are proper leaders. Peter Obi and doing in partnership with Bala Mohammed or El Rufai. I think what Nigerians are looking for at this point is how that can compare. We are no longer any political party. We are looking for leaders who will deliver quality leadership on part of governorship. Governorship is doing the need. Governorship is among other governors, what is due them, even what the federal government as minimum wage. Governorship is not serving party. So I think every other party, whoever is looking for an office, one should think of the people. It's not about the party. So on those partnership with Peter Obi and that is basically not what will bring the price of petrol down at this point. That's my take on it.
Now, let's talk about governance in the state, which is very, very important. If we're having any conversation at all about rivers, this has to be paramount. How has governance been affected so far in Rivers State?
With the current happenings in Rivers State, we know very well that governance has been really affected because Sim would have been doing more than what he's doing now currently. He would have been doing more than what he's doing now currently. And that is why we are saying that this man should be allowed to operate. He should be allowed to work. Even amidst this crisis, this current political crisis, you see he has been delivering to Rivers people what is due them. He has been giving to Rivers what is due them. So basically, at this point, I think Wike has to allow Sim to work and give people of Rivers the benefit of their duly democratic elected governor.
You're just sounding like those who have heard from Rivers, talking about the issue of governance. They say, oh, he's commissioning one project or the other. And I recall even the FCT minister reacting to all of those commissioning that it does not really mean anything. I'm wondering what governance is all about. So you have an assembly that's not in sync with the executive, especially with the representation of the 2025 budget, which has not been accepted. Will governance still not be affected?
The 27 lawmakers are actually acting to the script of their paymasters. That is all. They are acting to the script of their paymasters. At this point, we should ask ourselves, what is the primary assignment of a lawmaker? Are they not to be putting laws that will benefit the people of Rivers State, the local governments, the constituents? So why are they going against the developmental strides of the governor, looking for ways to impeach him when he has done no wrong? Is that what Rivers people want? Is that what the people voted them to do? No. And thank God for the kind of man Sim has been. Amidst all this crisis, he has stood firm to tell Rivers people not to worry, that he will give them what is due them. And I would like to say that Ijaws are peace-loving people. Ijaws are people who love development. Ijaws are not troublesome people. It is except you push an Ijaw man to the wall. If you push an Ijaw man to the wall, he will definitely react. But at this point, we are not looking for that. What we want is that they should allow Sim Fubara to work and allow Rivers State to enjoy more development. that will be given through by the government.
Well, unfortunately, that is the much that we can take on the show today. Many thanks for watching, and thank you, Makara, for being with us on the show.
Thank you very much for having me on your station.
I mean, one just can't seem to take a breath of fresh air regarding this issue of Rivers' political crisis, the back and forth with Governor Fubara, Minister Wike, the Amaewhule Assembly. But what about peace? Is peace really difficult? And, you know, I really took out time to watch the minister's parley with journalists the other day on Wednesday. And the big takeaway is, I mean, he's not ready to sheath his swords. I mean, he seems bent on having his agenda or his ideology of what he feels, you know, is due for the people. And when he refers to the people, there are many times he will, you know, he kept making reference to the fact that throughout the year 2024, Governor Fubara ruled the state with just 3 lawmakers. And that for him is a taboo. And that should have not been. Also within the course of the conversation, you know, he made mention of the fact that these are grounds on which the governor can be impeached. But we've said it several times on this show, even the first time that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu intervened in this political crisis, he opted for a political solution. Did the political solution last? Was the truce followed? I mean, there were people who could argue on the show that Governor Fubara met his own end of the bargain. But did the minister of the FCT maintain his own end of the bargain? And we've seen how this has lasted up till now with the ruling of the court judgment, the court verdict rather. And that's, of course, coming from the highest court of the land, the Supreme Court. And in the light of this, Governor Fubara has said it time and over again that the lawmakers should do the needful. In short, today, the governor's letter was practically begging the lawmakers to do that which is needful. But will they listen to their own voice, or they, of course, listen to the voice of the minister of the FCT, who has his own jurisdiction of affairs right here? And the bulk of the conversation of his media chat was focused on the state that he ran for 8 years, rather than the FCT. That was the bulk of the conversation. So at the end of the day, does it tell of the beauty of what our politics should be, that the minister of the FCT is still highly involved in the politics of Rivers State? And in the light of the Supreme Court's ruling, Rivers funds will be withheld. How does that go well for the people of the state? How do the state move forward in terms of financing its activities, financing its governments? I'm sure the lawmakers are going to be putting forward, you know, another draft and list of commissioners, people in Fubara's government who are going to be working with him. Will that effort also be frustrated? Because the effort made by Governor Similaye Fubara to present the 2025 budget as instructed by the Supreme Court is being frustrated. And now we have a new date. A new date has been set for the presentation of the budget. That is the 29th of March, 11 a.m. And we will be watching again to see if they will do the needful. And he stated in the letter that whatever time they deem fit for him to come and present the budget, he is waiting for them to do the needful so that the state can move forward. Now, another thing is for the budget to be presented. Even eventually when the budget is presented, what's to say that the process of approving the figures will not be another drama? And then at the end of the day, these people, Nigerians, would want to believe were elected by people in their local constituencies to represent their interests. But I'll leave that for you to be the judge. Who are the lawmakers serving? The interests of the good people of Rivers State, or the interest that is their own interest, or the interest of the FCT minister right here in the Federal Capital Territory in Abuja? That's for you to answer. And you know the answer to that question, given the passion that the minister displayed when communicating about his thoughts on what is going on presently in his states. Now, we've heard the concerns over threats of violence the destruction of pipeline. We've seen so many Ijaw stakeholders rise up to the comment made by the FCT minister that every other faction or group can actually destroy pipeline. So what's that rhetoric telling? What's that saying about, fanning the embers of violence and fanning the embers of ethnic disparity and ethnic violence, so to speak, which is not something that is new to Nigerian politics, as you are aware, rather, that, politicians will always play the divide and conquer game. But will the people of Rivers State fall for this messaging from the FCT minister? Will they fall for it? Will they fall for this messaging? Will they fall for that messaging? That's a big question that we need to be asking ourselves today. But we must let peace prevail. We must let peace prevail. And Nigerians are actually pleading on the president because he has his hand on these two political giants, Fubara and Wike. And whatever he says can hold if both are willing to do the needful. And the president time and time again has called for peace and that the right thing should be done. Now, Fubara has acknowledged that he has not been doing the right thing, considering the fact that the Supreme Court has ruled in favor of the 27 lawmakers who earlier defected from PDP rather to APC, but there's no record of that in terms of registration records. That's not there. So what is left to prevail? Peace. Peace has to prevail, because as a nation, we cannot continue to go this path. And leaders cannot continue to tow this path. We were living in the days where it was the people who were willing to fight, but now political gladiators are fighting and people are supporting on each side. But I think it's high time that we come together as a people, and most especially people in authority come together to do what is right and to leave everything behind. What has happened in the past has happened. It is time to move forward for the sake of the people that voted you into office and are demanding that you deliver good governance to them. Those are the people that you owe. You owe good governance, and they are the people that need you to stop all of this political crisis, put aside differences, and time to work together. And I do believe that over time, we will see positive news come out from Rivers State. As a nation in Nigeria, we have so many political problems, and the least of these problems should not be Rivers' political crisis. There are so many things that we should be focusing on, even as journalists. We spend week after week covering political crisis in a particular state. This ought not to be. This is not the right thing. We should have moved past this stage at this particular time. And thankfully, the Supreme Court has ruled. The court's ruling will be respected. That is, if both parties do what they are supposed to do. And let the past be past. Let's move away from there and forge towards a path of prosperity. Lest I remind you that Rivers State plays a very important role, a very important economic role in our national development. And all eyes is on Rivers State to do the needful in terms of its political leaders. They need to do the needful. We've seen efforts here and there from PANDEF, from the Niger Delta Leaders Forum, and we are hoping that these peace talks that are on the move would actually produce the results that we want to see in our country, Nigeria. And may war be very far from Rivers State. May we never get to watch the news, or may you never get to watch me report on this station about violence as a result of this crisis that has lingered for just too long. It is time to put an end to this crisis, and Nigerians are pleading and begging that every stakeholder in this Rivers political crisis will do what is necessary to ensure that the state can move past all of these ramblings and noise of crisis. Our guest has helped us to make sense of what's going on, and you back at home can make your own inferences for yourself. Once again, my name is Mona Balagugu. Many thanks for watching the show today.